Hey guys, welcome back to the Witchcraft Cycle Workshop. We're going to do another little video today, and this one is not on motorcycles because there's more to life than motorcycles. That doesn't sound right, but we're going to do something a little different again. Last week's video, I showed you all about the trailer we bought and how we're going to set it up. And then I got to thinking, you know, if we're going to do some camping, I need to get me one of these. Got on Marketplace, and sure enough, you can find these all over the place. If you're older like me, you already know what this is, but if you don't, let's take a look. This is an old Coleman camp stove. They made a bazillion of these things. This brings back memories. Got your little wind wings here, keep the breeze out of the way while you're cooking. If I can find it. You lift the grate. Here's your fuel tank. You can run these off white gas or unleaded gasoline. So you don't have to worry about propane tanks running out of propane. You can just run these off unleaded gasoline if you don't have white gas. But that just sits in there. Pressurize it up, light it, cook whatever you want. Anything you can cook at home, you can cook on one of these. This brings back memories. The guy I bought this from said that his family bought this back in 1971, and it pretty much hasn't been used since. Surprisingly enough, over 50 years old. I brought this thing home, put some fresh gas in it, tinkered with it a little bit. It fired right up. In fact, the next morning I made myself some bacon and eggs on it. Break out the old cast iron skillet. Works like a charm. But yeah, it brings back memories. But then I got to thinking, hang on. If I remember right, the one my mom and dad had years ago was a 3-burner. Well, that Marketplace got me again, and 2 days later, I find this one. It did not look like this when I bought it. When I bought it, it was rusty, it was nasty, it didn't work. So I took a die grinder with a little wire wheel on it, cleaned it up, took it apart, painted it. I mean, these things are simple as a brick. It does not take much to redo these. On the little pump mechanism, I had to put a new leather cup in there. But yeah, I got this one going now. This one fires up and runs. Looks almost like new. Probably get another 50 years out of this. I think this is about a mid-70s version. So I got me 2 stoves. And I've already got pots, pans, cast iron skillets, but I need to make coffee. Got back on Marketplace, got me a little percolator coffee cup. All of $5. All right, got that handled. Next thing I thought was, hey, I'm gonna get some lanterns. They make the lanterns that go with these. Got on Marketplace, and a gentleman had a bunch of lanterns. And he had these 2 newer ones. I think this is like 1995 and maybe in the 2000s here. And I thought, well, I'll take those 2. I like those. But then he said, well, hang on, I've got more of them. And he had the old 1962 and the old 1969 version. So I had to buy all of them because I had to buy these just for nostalgia. I'll probably actually use the 2 newer ones, but I had to buy these just because they were neat. I couldn't pass it up. And you know, again, as old as they are, these things still work just like they were intended to 50 years ago. So I got talking to the guy, and I told him, I said, yeah, I like the old lanterns because I've got 2 of the camp stoves, and you know, that way they all burn on either, you know, the white gas or the unleaded fuel. And the lanterns will go well with the stove. And he says, but wait, I've got a stove. And then he pulls out this. And this is a older than that one. This is an older 3-burner stove. And this one's this one's used up and greasy. But he wasn't even advertising it for sale. I shot him an offer on this stove and the 4 lanterns, and well, now I own 3 stoves, and that darn marketplace, I got to stay off of it sometimes. It just gets me every time. This thing is like, this model here was built from 61 to 64. So it is 60 years old, and I'll be darned if I didn't put some gasoline in the thing and it fired right up. Let me clear some stuff out of the way here, and I'll show you how these work. All right, so this is the Coleman 426C. Like I say, this one's from the early 60s. This other 3-burner over here was the 426D. They changed a few things, made them a little different. This one here's got more rounded sides. This one here, you can, if you like, you can flip the arm over, make you a nice little support for pots, pans if you want, or you can raise the lid, use the wind wings if you're cooking in a situation where it's windy. All of these stoves, whether it's 2-burner, 3-burner, they're all kind of designed the same. And believe it or not, they still make these. They started making these, I don't know, back in the 40s maybe. I know they had them in the 50s. I actually got on Amazon, and you can still buy a 2-burner stove designed just like this. And these things last forever, like I say. When you fold them up, the fuel tank sits inside. You can put your white gas, or in this case, I have premium unleaded in this one. I ran premium because I didn't want the alcohol with the regular unleaded. But what you do is you take the little pump here, give them 30, 40, 50 pumps, you know, depending on how much fuel you have in them. I have this somewhat pressurized already. But you want to pressurize the tank. And then you're going to lock it down. It slides right in that little hole. And then you have little holes here for the tabs. Sit down in there. We're going to turn this little needle up. It actually tells you right on top of the tank. Turn the needle up. And we're going to open the valve. And there we go. Now with the needle up, we're pulling the fumes off the top of the tank. We're not burning the gas itself. And what we're doing, this little tube that goes in is what they call a generator. Has a little spring in it, a little needle goes all the way through to the end. We're doing a preheat to heat that tube up so that when we turn this down to fuel, it'll vaporize the fuel from the heat in the tube. They tell you to run this for, you'll run it up for 30 seconds to a minute to heat that tube up. Once you get it warmed up some, you can turn it down. There we go, nice blue flame. So with the arm down now, we're pulling liquid fuel out of the bottom. It's going through the tube and vaporizing. And we can, just like your regular gas stove at home, you can turn it up, turn it down to a low simmer. With this one, we have 3 burners, and you can pull a little wing out here on the side, and we'll open up a side one. There we go. Your center one's always going to be the hottest one. Your two side ones, or single side one on the 2 burner, is going to be the smaller burner. But look at there, 60 years old, still just fires right up. I have not cleaned this or done anything to it. This is just the way I bought it. I will probably clean this thing all up and repaint it to look nice like the other one over here. But it just amazes me that these things can just sit around and still function this well. And like I say, it just brings back memories. And I like to cook, so I look forward to using these. We do our camping trips and stuff now. If we haul the bikes on the trailer, I'll have this packed in there. And if we want to cook some dinners or even breakfast, I think we're all set. But I think I have enough stoves for now. Hopefully I don't buy any more. We'll move on to other things. But hey, thanks for tuning in. I don't know what we're going to do a video on next time, but you never know. So stay tuned. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.